Slavery is a deeply rooted practice that has existed in various forms and across different cultures throughout human history. While it is impossible to cover the entirety of the history of slavery in a concise manner, I will provide an overview of its major developments. Ancient civilizations. Slavery dates back to ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. In these societies, slavery was commonly practiced, and slaves were typically acquired through warfare, debt, or as a result of being born into slave families. Slaves were often used for labor-intensive tasks and had limited rights or freedoms. Transatlantic Slave Trade. The Transatlantic Slave Trade, which spanned roughly from the 16th to the 19th centuries, represents one of the most brutal and widespread forms of slavery in history. European powers, particularly Portugal, Spain, Britain, France, and the Netherlands, established colonies in the Americas and the Caribbean and required a large workforce for plantations and mining. Millions of Africans were forcibly captured, transported, and sold as slaves in the Americas. The conditions during the Middle Passage, the journey across the Atlantic, were horrific, and many enslaved individuals died before reaching their destinations. Slavery in the Americas was characterized by extreme exploitation, inhumane treatment, and systemic dehumanization. Abolitionist movements. Resistance to slavery emerged throughout its history, but in the late 18th and 19th centuries, abolitionist movements gained momentum. Influenced by Enlightenment ideals and religious beliefs, abolitionists argued against the morality and injustice of slavery. The first significant steps towards abolition were taken by individual countries. Britain abolished the slave trade in 1807 and slavery itself in its colonies in 1833. Other European powers and the United States followed suit, with the U.S. formally abolishing slavery with the 13th Amendment in 1865 after the American Civil War. Impact and legacy. Slavery has had a profound and enduring impact on the societies and cultures it touched. It fueled economic growth in the Americas and Europe through the exploitation of enslaved labor. The African continent suffered immense human loss and disruption as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. The consequences of slavery continue to be felt today. Descendants of enslaved Africans, particularly in the Americas, have experienced enduring social, economic, and